Vestige, meet me at the harborage. We are ready to rescue Sai Sahan.
Like, every time. I head towards town this direction, and every time he does that. Hey everybody, welcome back to Just Push to Play. We are playing Elder Scrolls Online today, main quest. So, we have been called back to the harborage. And we are starting the Halls of Torment. So, oh, first, I also wanted to say, anybody who saw my last Alliance video, I am sorry about the audio issue. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I think something got turned down and it got resolved within the first like 5 or 10 minutes. But the NPCs and the player audio was kind of low, but you can probably hardly hear it. Thankfully, I've closed captioning on. So, yeah, sorry about that. So, for the main quest today, Baron Eclarios and Ebnar Tharn have found the location of Sai Sahan within the Halls of Torment. I need to venture into these halls and save the final missing companion. Baron Eclarios has beckoned me to the harborage. I should go there and speak with them. So we are at the harborage. Let's see what he has, what his game plan is. I also finally spoke with Stuga. The one that's been like following me around.
Put a cork in it, Tharn. Sai's my friend. Probably the best friend I have. If the vestige is going, I'm going too.
Yes, I see. And you are the most qualified. Why? Is it your superior knowledge of Cold Harbor? Your expertise in dealing with Daedric entities? Or is it simply the unrequited puppy love you feel for that shirtless mammoth?
Oh, he's back. I was wondering where Cadwell went. Anyway, if anybody had been like following a lot of my videos for this series, Alliance and Main Quest, Stuga has been like stalking me. And I finally figured out, it's just a quest to go to Wrothgar to introduce that DLC. So I talked to her, I picked up the quest for it. And now she should just leave me alone. She gave me this. An invitation to go to Wrothgar to present myself to the Forge Mother Alga in the city of Orsinium. So, yeah. So, thankfully, she was pretty annoying.
The time has come for another foray into Oblivion, Vestige. We have one last ally in need of rescue.
Yep, Sai Sahan.
Indeed, Ebnar Tharn and I have been meditating, scrying, and poring over Menemarco's notes, and at long last we've discovered the location of the Halls of Torment.
How long has Sai Sahan been a prisoner there?
Our friend has suffered unimaginable and unending torment for nearly 2 years, far longer than any mortal man should endure. But Sai Sahan is something more than mortal man. He's a descendant of Leki, the Yokudan sword saint. I've seen it.
Then we must find him, and quickly.
We have been able to determine the precise area of the halls where Sai is being held. This is why we were so long about the task. I shall open a portal for you.
Am I going alone?
Lyris and Abner have both agreed to accompany you, but I fear their mutual enmity will complicate your task. Speak with them and hear what they offer, but you must choose one or the other.
Okay. Lightning form sure is fun. Did I get rid of it though? Lightning splash? Yeah. I'm on lightning splash now. Okay, what about weapon? Send the elements as zap an enemy's defenses. No. I think I was looking at maybe impulse. So I'll have to wait for that. What about racial? No. In there. So this side I have healing. I'm just looking at the skills advisor. So this one. Summon restoring spirits. Share your staff's life-giving energy, healing you and nearby allies. I still have my clinfer because if I accidentally flip, I'd like him to stay active. Slam down your staff to activate its blessing, healing you and your allies for 3265 health. Also grants minor resolve, minor ward, increasing you and your allies' physical resistance and spell resistance for 1320. So it heals you for 3265. You and your allies. So this is like a major heal. This is a minor heal that also has minor resolve and minor ward. This stuff. Major mending for 1.5 seconds after completing a fully charged heavy attack. Also heals yourself or a nearby ally. Increases your healing by 8%. With that equipped. I actually kind of just realized recently that I actually need to get into, like, maybe, I think alchemy and clothing. Or not clothing, well, provisioning. I haven't done it in. What level am I? I'm like 22, so I could start doing some dungeons. Minor resolve. I guess I should put one of those on. Yeah, let's put that on 3. And then we'll increase my healing by 8%. Or maybe I'll just start at the top and work my way down. Alright. Alright, so I need to talk to you two. Gosh, can't we all just get along?
What's wrong? What did Varen say?
He said that only one of you can join me.
Then your choice is clear. I've known Sai Sahan longer than anyone. I should be the one to go. It's your decision. Just know that I'd give my life for you or for Sai. Would Tharn do the same?
Yeah. And Tharn, what do you have to say?
You look perplexed. What inscrutable riddles is Varen spouting now?
He said that only one of you can join me.
Did he? What surprisingly good advice. Titanborn and I are more likely to kill each other than we are to help. The choice is yours. But I recommend choosing brains over brawn. I have valuable knowledge of the Daedra, and don't forget, I'm the mage.
Okay. So he has intel. And he is a mage. she just knows Sai really well, but she's a really, really good swordsmith attacker person. I'm gonna choose Laris. She's a good companion, and Varen, he bothers me.
What's wrong? What did Varen say?
Or not Varen, Darn. I'm not sure what
Then
I
your
just
choice is clear. I've known Sai Sahan longer than anyone. Thank you. You won't regret it. Back in the Cold Harbor slave pits, the Shriven used to whisper about the Halls of Torment. When I think of what Sai must be going through, we'll bring him back, or die trying.
Alright.
Go with Lyris. Save Sai Sahan from the Halls of Torment.
Turning down the volume, the game volume slightly. Okay. Ooh, that's bright.
Where is the Amulet of Kings?
Who said that? Okay. Let's go. Oh, that looks like a short body. They actually don't really show many children in this game, now that I'm thinking about it. Oops. That is what I get for not playing for a while. Lyris, are you okay? Oh. Jeez, Lyris, you scared me. You okay?
That's Tharn's voice. What is he doing here?
Where is the Amulet of Kings? Tell me, or I'll gut you like a fish with your own sword.
What?
see how simple it is to be a sword singer, Sai?
You're not the real Tharn.
Witness the deadly power.
What were you saying?
How touching. Your friends are here to save you. Pity they arrived too late. It's time for your next round of torture. You'll enjoy this one.
Sai was right there. We had him. We were so close.
Why would his torturer be made to look like Tharn?
Tharn was always mocking Sai, making jokes at his expense. Sai never responded, but I know it hurt him deeply. The Daedra must have sensed that. On the plus side, a doppelganger with Tharn's face was much more satisfying to kill.
Yeah. I wonder if Tharn were really here. But, oh well. What was that about being a sword singer?
The Sword Singers are legendary. They were a group of Red Guard sword masters, wiped out in the First Era by the Yokudan Emperor Hira. Sahan spent years trying to resurrect their lost art, but never succeeded. He considered it his greatest failure.
So the doppelganger was using that failure to torment him?
And it took on Tharn's appearance because he was a familiar rival that Sai secretly despised. Imagine seeing your nemesis succeed where you failed. Day after day, year after year. I can't think of anything worse.
Alright, so let's take a quick look around and then move on. See, I just went along that way, right? It's too bad when you go to look at like weapons or armors you find lying around, they don't show you the stats on it. Oh, what's this? Proper Torture Technique, Volume 13. By the Duchess of Anguish. Focus on failure. Pain can be an effective tool in the torture of mortals, but it has an inherent failing. It is temporary. Failure, on the other hand, lasts for an eternity. Throughout their brief existence, every mortal invariably attempts activity that are beyond their physical capabilities in the hopes of achieving greatness. Mortals refer to this quality as ambition. Inevitably, complications brought about by overreach, overexertion, miscalculation, or simply by bad luck will result in a catastrophic failure in one or more of these activities. The resulting shame and self-reproach will often imprint itself within a mortal's mind and forever remain, haunting them for the remainder of their days. Failure, the natural byproduct of a mortal's ambition, can therefore be one of the most potent weapons in a torturer's arsenal. Mortals, through their liberal exercise of free will, do not wish to be reminded of their failures or their unrequited ambitions. Recounting these failures can have a devastating effect upon their pride, a pitiable quality which espouses the individual person as a unique and exalted personality in a vast and meaningless universe. When a mortal's pride is affected, any other favorable qualities they might possess are devalued in their own self-perception. To wit, they begin to mentally torture themselves. One of the most elegant and effective means of breaking a mortal spirit, then, as the constant and repetitive recreation of the events they consider to be their most devastating failures and inadequacies. By highly exaggerating, and to some degree even distorting these events, we can create a situation where their own self-doubts and frustrations turn inward, devouring their own mind, body, and soul. Yes. Though it may take more time and effort than pure physical torture, a daily regimen of repetitive forced failure scenarios will eventually break the subject's will throughout the need to resort to violence or bloodshed, the expense of which they have been extensively documented as the direct result of elevated cleaning costs and dissected corpse disposal. Oh my gosh. Well, that is the boss we are going after. Well, that was a fun read. No, not really. This looks like interesting stone. Brimstone steps.
We appear to have some unwanted visitors in the Halls of Torment. Let's make them feel welcome, shall we?
Oh, it's by Clinfer. Did he die? There we go.
Your friend always had the opportunity to free himself. All he needs to do is reveal the location of the amulet of Kent, and you can all be on your merry way.
Okay. Oh, did I take a experience item?
Enjoy your visit. You'll never leave the Halls of Torment alive.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm pretty resilient. That one looked like he was getting his health back.
Just tell me where the amulet is and we can be together forever, Sai. Isn't that what we both want?
That sounded like my voice. What's going on? I never said that.
Well, let's go find out.
Where is the Amulet of Kings?
Sai, my love, where is the amulet? If you tell me, this will all be over, and we can finally be together.
Oh boy. That kind of torture, huh?
Intruders! They're after the amulet. Don't worry, my love. My sisters will deal with these pests. She seems to be drawing power from those stones. Destroy them, quickly!
Okay.
They pulled these spells from Sai's head? I don't understand. You'll learn to love me, Sai, even if it kills you.
Make sure I get everything, because I might forget if I don't do it now.
It's not like this between Sai and me. Nothing can hurt you, Sai. Unless you want me to hurt you.
Oh, there's nothing over here. Oh, there she is. It's like, I didn't see anybody. Nothing's going on in there. She's just talking sweet words to him. Ah, am I stuck? Well, the Duchess of Anguish certainly has her methods, I suppose. One more to go.
Why does she look like me?
You know.
If I can't give you my heart,
I bet they're secretly in love.
fresh. I'll deal with them. You'll be safe here, my love.
Man, it's a good thing she has that red bar above her. Otherwise, I'd be like, which is which? Oh, there we go.
Time
Jeez.
to feast.
You are ugly. Oogly. Ah. Ah, shoot. All right, let's try this one more time. It's too bad I used up. Okay.
to feast!
Ah, so it was my Clinfer that was
Too late.
keeping her off
Once
of me.
again. Come, my friend. Time for your next session.
No! Oh, God, that's horrible.
Vestige, hold a moment. When I get my hands on Menomarco, I'm gonna slice that traitor stem to sternum and wash my hands in his body cavity!
I don't understand. Why did that doppelganger look like you?
How should I know? Sai and I are friends. Good friends, nothing more.
They pulled the idea from Sai's head, didn't they?
What? No! Our friendship is based on honor and loyalty, not foolish games of love. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap at you. This is just so unexpected. Confusing.
Well, I think we just met Minnie Marco's Duchess of Anguish.
I'll show her anguish when I bury my axe in her skull. Let's keep moving. And listen, don't mention this whole thing to anyone. I need some time to figure out what it means.
Okay. I think it means you're in love. You're in love. And Sai's in love with you. Wow. What a nice little, love nest, I guess. Where are we heading? This way. I don't think there's really anything else in this room. Well, actually, she had a book in that last area. So let's, yeah, there's a trunk. Ah, here we go. Volume 8. Love the Mortal Weakness. One of the more confusing phenomena of the mortal condition is that peculiar emotional state known as love, in which one mortal feigns an irrational and unconditional affection for another mortal. This state, unknown to the denizens of His Majesty's realm, is the most puzzling for a torturer to understand. Foreign as the concept is, but lurking within this emotional quality are many avenues for simulating this state, and therefore manipulating the torture subject into submitting to our will. Love as it is a very powerful force, and it is through love that most mortals perform their greatest and most heroic deeds. Though love can be directed at any number of abstract concepts, love for the empire, love for one's personal deity, love for one's home, these are more tenuous forms of the emotion and thus less effective for our torture methods. Manipulating love for abstract concepts is best served for souring a mortal's disposition in peaceful times, not for extracting information while in the torture chamber. Rather, if one wishes to use love as an effective torture method, the love of one mortal for another mortal is by far the strongest, and thus the most efficient and powerful source for manipulation. Whereas love for an abstraction exists solely within a mortal's mind, the love of another person exists in the physical realm, and its tangibility amplifies its effect on a mortal soul. A mortal may love, say, his career as a baker, but there is not one single thing which defines that love, and thus the affection is a complex thread of interwoven objects inside his mental facilities. But when a child loves his mother, he has only one mother, and if that is taken away from him, there would be only a void with which to fulfill that love. Thus, a proper torturer must focus on the love for another mortal in order to effectively torture a mortal soul. Now the question remains, how does one use the love for another mortal as a method of torture? The question is entirely dependent on the relationship of the tortured soul and the object of their affection. Familial love, the love between members of the same family, is most effectively pursued by reinforcing the concept of loss. If a mother loves her child, she would be unable to bear losing that child. Thus, presenting a vision of the child to the mother and then taking it away, either through death or kidnapping, would be an effective means of torture. Love between friends, though, is best portrayed as constant and inevitable betrayal or overt treachery on behalf of the assumed friend. If a torturer happens upon a mortal who holds secret desires for another mortal, particularly in the nature of a nuptial love or carnal love, but for which this love is not fulfilled, mortals call this unrequited love. Then that torturer has the most enticing and powerful version of love with which to use. A mortal's petty sense of identity and its futile need to fulfill its desires and one of the defining characteristics of mortal existence is one. And the sometimes lifelong ambition to achieve one's goals is the driving force of many mortal beings throughout their short and ultimately meaningless lives. Offering a mortal even the slightest indulgence of their unrequited desires, empty and false as it may be, is to entice the very essence of their ambitions and stoke their basest emotional needs. If a torturer can invoke these instincts from the victim, then the success of the torturer is practically guaranteed. It's interesting to read those, but at the same time, it's very textbook-ish. Not the easiest to read.
We don't get many visitors in the Halls of Torment, but there's always room for a few more permanent residents.
Mm-hmm. Ah! Quick, Lyris, quick! Jump! Jump! Stop standing over them. Okay, I'll just move on.
Such tenacity, such ambition, such bravery. Such a pity we're going to skin you alive and feast on your intestines.
Lava.
Fools! Time is meaningless in the Halls of Torment. Whether it takes a day or 1,000 years, Sai Sahan will be broken.
Where is the Amulet of Kings?
Where is the Amulet of Kings? This can all be over if you just tell me. You can finally rest. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Sai?
Have I been here 2 years? Or 2,000 years? I can no longer tell. But I will never break. Never.
Don't worry, Sai, we're coming. We'll help you. We're here to save you.
I should have never trusted you.
Oh, I wonder... Okay, so I figured something out. I've complained a couple of times about not being able to take good pictures for, like, thumbnails and such.
I should have never trusted you.
Okay, so if I go under on the PS4, they have a actual setting to be able to take a picture.
I should have never trusted you.
It should be under video. Which I'm not seeing here, though.
I should have never trusted you.
Okay, never mind.
I should have never trusted you.
Who dares to defy the Duchess of Anguish? I will tear out your heart and make you feast upon it. What death do you prefer, mortal? Slow and painful or quick and painful? I think I'll kill you quickly, then resurrect you and kill you slowly. An eternity of agony. It will be glorious.
I'm just shocked that they died so easily. Oh wow, look at that. Woohoo!
Sai is in pain. Release his bonds, quickly.
Is it Sai? Is it really you? Or is it just a mirage?
I do not know you. Why are you here? Who sent you?
Baron sent me. I'm a friend.
The Emperor? He lives? This day is filled with wonders.
Did they force you to reveal the location of the Amulet of Kings?
They tortured me for many months. Years, perhaps. But I did not break my vow. The amulet is hidden and safe.
Can you walk? We need to get out of here.
My strength is returning. Lead on.
You have done it, Vestige. Bring him through the portal quickly.
Okay, just give me a second. Let me loot. Ah. Lots of good looting materials for crafting and such. I'm just going to, you know, ignore all of the skeletons and the dead people. Kind of horrifying, so I'm just gonna pretend they're not there. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna take one of my lower level characters, and kind of make that my provisioner and crafter, so that I won't have to use any skill points for my sorcerer, on that kind of stuff. I don't know, maybe. We'll see.
Sai Sahan lives. You've outdone yourself, Vestige.
The Daedra tortured his mind as well as his body.
The minds of some men can endure hardships far greater than anything the Daedra can concoct. The forces of loyalty, honor, and friendship are powerful indeed.
So what's our next move?
We must recover the Amulet of Kings, but only when Sai Sahan has had time to recover. He is a man of great strength, but he will still need to rest after such an ordeal.
Yeah. So where is the Amulet of Kings?
Sai locked the amulet away in the ruins of San Kotor and entrusted the key to one of his close associates. But he can tell you himself. Speak with him. He's eager to meet his liberator. I'll contact you when we're ready to move forward.
All right. Sounds good. Oop. Trying to remember which button. Well, I guess my weapon is no longer withdrawn.
I owe you my life. My lord calls you Vestige. A strange name. Is it true your soul was taken from you?
Yes, yes, it's true.
Stranger still. My people say that bravery and honor are the hallmarks of a great soul. Yet you have both of those things in great measure. I had begun to think that honor was a relic of the past. You give me hope.
Well, how are you feeling?
I cannot say. Physically, I am unharmed. But mentally, I feel a darkness in my heart. Weight on my soul. I do not know how long this emptiness will remain.
How do we get the Amulet of Kings?
I hid the amulet in a sacred catacomb protected by magical wards. The means of lifting these wards are in the keeping of my old mentor, Kasura. As soon as I am able, we must meet with her.
Okay. We will. As soon as you're well. You should rest now.
I will try to rest, but I am a warrior. We cannot sit still for very long. I should certainly bathe before we meet with Kasura. I am unpleasantly fragrant. And if she happened to be downwind of me, well, I would never hear the end of it.
As you say, Sai.
The path ahead of us is a dark one, but it pleases me to know that I shall walk the path with friends. May we all rest a little easier tonight. I know I shall.
Alright. Rest. Rest and we'll regroup later. Let's talk to everybody and then I'll read that book back there. Hey, Cadwell, where did you go?
This cave is quite lovely, but have you seen the nightmarish landscape outside? How do you people keep your sanity? I believe I'll just remain indoors. Do let me know if I'm needed for anything heroic, won't you?
Okay, he may have said that before. Not sure.
Sahan seems to be relatively unharmed. Can we wrap this up? I have an appointment with a certain young lady, and I need to stop by the money changers first. Women of that stripe seldom do anything on credit.
Wow, they really want you to dislike him. Okay. Chronicles of the Five. Abner Tharn here. Collecting the Redguard from the Halls of Torment was a simple enough task. In the end, I find it curious that Sai Sahan was affected so much by his experiences with the other members of the Companions, though I find his tolerance of and affection for that hulking she-troll distasteful. It cannot be denied that his willpower throughout his imprisonment was nothing short of legendary. We now know where the Amulet of Kings resides. It is perhaps fitting that he returned it there. Sahan is better read than I expected, but perhaps a bit too poetic. A clever and patriotic man of imperial descent might have immediately thought that of the ancient citadel of Sancrator and its association with the Elysia and the convent of the Divines. It is perhaps a great blessing that the elven Manimarco has no such love for Cyrodiilic history. Sai Sahan is a curious individual. I have never considered the Red Guards quite as contemptuous as many Nibonese lords might, and I find him the most agreeable of the surviving companions. He understands duty and dedication, serves those he knows to be his betters, and hones his craft with singular dedication. Despite his inability to resurrect a lost tradition, for the best probably, given its supposed implication destruction of the Red Guard homeland, Sai Sahan's abilities with a longsword are awe-inspiring. I recall a time during the war against the Longhouse Emperors when he rode at the head of a column of mercenary soldiers tasked by Varen to assist in the liberation of Leowin. It turned out that the Leovic Sion of Tagberlish and their emperor of the imperial city employed those mercenaries as double agents. When Sai came before the gates of Leowin and his loyal troops, they turned on him, hoping to deliver the severed head of Varen's legendary Dragon Guard commander to Emperor Leovic. Second-hand accounts of the citizens are often difficult to trust, but even if one simple peasant exaggeration into account, it is clear that Sai fought his way through two forces intent on separating his skull from his neck. When he returned to the rebellion base at Bruma weeks later, he did so with the scalps of 86 men and the news that Leowin had been freed. Jeez. He's never really spoken to me of it to me despite my pressuring. Varen, of course, did not pry. He used his own charisma and overactive imaginations of the levels to spin a tale of glorious combat. One man against two armies, Sai Sahan, who single-handedly freed Leowin from Leovic's control. The truth, I suspect, is far more brutal and bloody. One does not saw the skin off of 86 skulls unless one is burdened with a great deal of suppressed anger and bloodlust. One man does not take on 600 at once. I think it far more likely that the Red Guard fought a brutal running battle throughout the city for days, murdering commanders and guardsmen alike until the Reachmen and their mercenaries eventually quit settlement. That is what makes Sai Sahan so dangerous. He does not look to be the sort who would remain hidden away in dark alleys and back streets, surviving by eating garbage, butchering one by one men so savage that the only way to frighten them is to become a murderous invisible ghost, haunting the shadows of an empty city. And yet, that is precisely who he is and what he has done. Okay, that's what he's assuming. I mean, that's not story that he told. That's what he thinks happened. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can still jump while I read that. Can I? I can't move around, but I can jump. Well, I can. The only thing I can do is jump. Alright, so. He said that we were gonna have to go and see somebody. But it's not on my quest board yet. So, as soon as we get our next objective for the main quest, we will continue this. Until then, you guys, I'll see you next time.